A routine that lasts only a few seconds shouldn't hold the power that it does. One tap on a screen, one cup sliding across a counter, lives one of the most reliable revenue engines the food industry has ever seen. Coffee didn't become identity by coincidence. The shift was engineered, refined, and scaled. When a commodity measured in cents becomes a ritual worth billions, the economics of behavior start to look less like the restaurant business and more like subscription finance. Companies can spend decades chasing loyalty, but Starbucks built it by mastering something more fundamental: the repetition embedded in people's lives. To understand its scale, look at how the category itself evolved. Coffee used to fight on price. Diners, gas stations, office pots, all competing for the cheapest pour. Then, over the last 2 decades, a quiet repositioning happened. Specialty shops raised expectations. Premium roasts normalized double-digit price increases. And somewhere along that climb, the drink stopped being just a beverage. It became a signal, a lifestyle shorthand, a tiny badge of who someone felt they were as they stepped into the day. Ritual made the model predictable. Predictability made it powerful. When millions of people start their morning anchored to the same behavior, that consistency becomes a fixed asset, one that stabilizes volume, justifies scale, and cushions volatility. Stores could open by the thousands, not because demand surged randomly, but because it repeated with metronome regularity. But here's where the mechanism deepens. A customer walking in once delivers revenue. A customer walking in 300 times a year delivers something closer to an annuity. The shift from occasional purchase to habitual routine compresses risk in ways most food service categories can't replicate. The volatility that usually comes from mood, weather, timing, and competition flattens out. And repeated purchases, even small ones, compound into tens of billions annually. This is why the company's margins expand in places the untrained eye never sees. A mid-single-digit price increase doesn't trigger backlash when the product is part of someone's identity. A seasonal flavor can move ticket averages noticeably higher without reworking a single back-of-house process. Personalization amplifies average order value. Customization turns into a silent margin lever. Small choices, multiplied across tens of millions of visits, become significant financial lift. Then came the digital layer, the expansion no one initially recognized for what it would become. A simple loyalty program matured into a massive mobile payment ecosystem. Preloaded balances accumulated into hundreds of millions of dollars, functioning like a zero-interest float most banks would envy. With each digital order, data refined forecasting, labor insights, inventory timing, throughput patterns. And in peak hours, those insights weren't abstract, they were dollars. Thousands of them, saved, optimized, or unlocked minute by minute. One executive once described the shift this way: "We stopped running a store and started running a system, and that system grew more intricate with each digital nudge. A recommended add-on here, a limited time offer there." Subtle suggestions shaped preferences, and as attachment rates climbed, category economics bent in the company's favor. Yet beneath all the data and mechanics lies something quieter: the emotional architecture that holds the whole engine together. People don't feel like they're participating in a corporate strategy. They feel a moment of stability in a morning that might otherwise feel rushed or unpredictable. A ritual carved into the noise of the day. That comfort creates a moat far wider than the flavor profile of any particular drink. This is why the real competitor isn't another cafe. The real competitor is anything that disrupts the loop. A changed commute, a new routine, a schedule shift, a life transition. Whenever the loop breaks, demand softens, not because the product changed, but because the ritual did. Of course, no system operates without tension. Labor costs rise, commodity markets fluctuate, urban saturation creates diminishing returns. Some regions show early signs of ritual fatigue, where customers seek alternatives or reduce frequency. And loyalty programs, while incredibly powerful, create their own expectations that tighten margins in inflationary cycles. But even with those pressures, few food categories enjoy customer frequency this stable, pricing power this durable, or brand attachment this personal. Zoom out, and the model becomes even clearer. Starbucks didn't simply scale locations, it scaled behaviour. It turned coffee, one of the oldest agricultural products on Earth, into a modern form of identity technology. Each part of the system reinforces the next. The brand reinforces the routine reinforces the digital ecosystem, and the digital ecosystem reinforces the economics. It is a cycle built for downturn resilience and disproportionate upside when discretionary spending returns. The deeper insight is this: the ritual isn't just revenue, it's defensive architecture. When people internalize a brand as part of who they are, or who they believe they're becoming, the competitive landscape shifts from beverages to belonging. Companies no longer fight for share of stomach, they fight for share of identity. So the next time a name is called and a cup slides forward, it's worth asking what's really happening in that moment. How many of our food decisions are truly choices? And how many are the echoes of routines shaped by companies that learned how to turn habit, identity, and time itself into strategy? Because within that tiny daily act lives the machinery of a corporate engine still spinning, still scaling, still shaping rituals we rarely question. A ritual disguised as coffee, a brand disguised as a routine.